Thank you. Supervisor Laputa, would you mind leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Thank you. Roll call, please. Clerk of the Board.
Supervisor Villapudua.
Present.
Supervisor Rickman.
Here.
Supervisor Miller.
Here.
Supervisor Patty.
Yes.
And Chairman Nguyen.
Here. Thank you. All right, moving to recognitions and presentations. We have proclamation first for National Health Center Week. And David Hurst.
Thank you, Chairman. And I will also invite Joanne Singer to the podium as I read this proclamation. Whereas National Health Center Week offers the opportunity to recognize America's health centers, their dedicated staff, board members, and all those responsible for their continued success and growth since the first health centers opened their doors more than 55 years ago. And whereas San Joaquin County is proud to be home to several well-established, trusted, and recognized nonprofit health centers, collectively serving our communities for nearly 5 decades by ensuring access to high-quality primary health care, behavioral health, and other medical services. And whereas nonprofit health centers integrate their primary health services with outreach, mobile clinics, patient education, and case management to create a comprehensive medical home for our region's vulnerable populations, including Medi-Cal beneficiaries, residents who are uninsured, migrant communities, and the unhoused. And whereas nonprofit health centers in San Joaquin County have developed and nurtured strong relationships with a network of social service organizations, including agencies associated with housing, crisis intervention, food security, financial assistance, and children's services to help patients secure resources, advice, and guidance related to social determinants of health. And whereas nonprofit health centers in San Joaquin County, during periods of financial turbulence and uncertainty, provide an accessible option for affordable healthcare services, regardless of insurance status or ability to pay. And whereas nonprofit health centers in the county have delivered essential resources, testing, and treatment to our community in the face of the global coronavirus pandemic, and will continue to offer reliable, affordable, high-quality care against COVID-19 as we approach the pandemic's uncertain future. And whereas during National Health Center Week, we celebrate and recognize the commitment and contributions of nonprofit health centers in San Joaquin County and their vital role in shaping the past, present, and future of our regional healthcare delivery system. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the San Joaquin County Board of Supervisors does hereby proclaim August 7th through the 13th, 2022 as National Health Center Week in San Joaquin County, and we encourage our citizens to take part this week by learning more about our region's nonprofit health centers, sharing information about these community resources with those who work with our vulnerable populations, and celebrating the unique and important partnership between these health centers and the diverse communities they serve. Presented this 9th day of August, 2022.
Thank you. Would you like to make some comments?
Actually, I'd like to say thank you. I totally appreciate this. And I'm speaking on behalf of SJ Health, of which I am part of, but as well community medical centers and Golden Valley Health Centers. We are all your community health centers here in San Joaquin County. We're all putting our best foot forward in terms of making sure our community needs are met. I'm actually dressed as I am now because I'm on my way to the Stockton Shelter for the Homeless, where our mobile clinic is currently providing clinical services for our homeless individuals there. So thank you so much. And I know you've supported us all throughout. Totally appreciate everything. Thank you.
Thank you, Joan. Supervisor Laputa.
Yes, thank you, Chairman. John, I just want to thank you for everything you, especially done the last 3 years during COVID. You guys did an amazing job of helping everyone in the community, and these health centers help a lot of people. So really a lot of gratitude for what you guys do, and you and your staff. Thank you.
Supervisor Patty.
Thank you, Chairman. Well, Community Health Center has been an amazing impact and a positive, just a beacon of service from you and staff here in our county and for the residents. And oftentimes people are coming in and they've got multiple challenges, and you guys have been steady You've been caring, and you've administered many of the support services and healthcare that's been needed in sometimes very critical situations. So we appreciate you. Glad we can give this recognition, and we celebrate you and your staff, and we truly appreciate it. Thanks.
Supervisor Miller.
Thank you. Joan, especially you and your team, it just seemed like you were everywhere over the last couple of years. But all of you, including Golden Valley and community medical centers, you've been wonderful partners with the county, helping us to provide really critical medical care to some of our most vulnerable residents. So we're really happy to recognize you today. I'm very pleased you were able to be here. I know your schedule is really, really busy. So thank you to you and all of you that do this hard work in our communities.
Vice Chair Rickman.
Thank you, Chair, and great to see you again. Thank you and your staff. You know, our healthcare, community healthcare centers, you know, as Supervisor Patty mentioned, is a beacon of strength, service, and care. You know, what you all do to offer support and love here is our community. You know, we all deeply appreciate it. You also offer hope and a better vision for our future, or for the future. So thank you and your staff for all you do for San Joaquin County. It's greatly appreciated, and God bless you.
I would add to what my fellow supervisor said in regards to you being everywhere. I mean, I know through this pandemic you have provided tremendous support in regards to our residents. But I would take just a little different approach to it, because certainly your patients, the people that you treat, you know, obviously the uninsured, the whole host and full gamut of that. But I would say that the recognition from my vantage point is your staff. Your staff has gone through just horrific conditions, both health conditions and crisis and trauma and emotion and all the things that you've had to deal with. And, you know, in this county, unfortunately, we do have a lack of healthcare professionals. It's very hard to recruit into San Joaquin County, competing with the Bay Area, for example. But I would say, you know, especially your staff, for them hanging in there on a daily basis, understanding the risks that they were exposed to is probably one of the most heroic and courageous group that I could even remember. So again, I want to thank you and your staff and actually all the healthcare professionals in the county who've really stepped up and provided our residents with the care they need during these unfortunate times. So with that, I'd like to give you this recognition from all our supervisors. Clerk of the Board.
Thank you, Chairman. Next, we have the request to proclaim the month of August 2022 as Child Support Awareness Month in San Joaquin County. And I would like to invite Department of Child Support Services Director Abe Mendoza to the podium as I read this proclamation. Whereas the San Joaquin Department of Child Support Services strives to partner with parents to develop cooperative family relationships and shared responsibilities. And whereas San Joaquin County Department of Child Support Services serves over 33,000 children, in 2021 to 2022, DCSS has collected over $68 million, where 87% of in-state collections went directly to the families. And whereas the Child Support Program exists to assist both parents and legal guardians in the active provision of a stable and supportive environment for children in San Joaquin County. And whereas awareness of the needs of children and the responsibilities of parents to provide for the support of their children benefits all Californians. And whereas we must rededicate ourselves to the task of putting our youngest and most vulnerable citizens first. And whereas the San Joaquin County Department of Child Support Services, in partnership with the California Department of Child Support Services, commemorates August 2022 as Child Support Awareness Month, whose theme is One Size Does Not Fit All. Now therefore be it resolved that the San Joaquin County Board of Supervisors does hereby proclaim August 2022 as Child Support Awareness Month in San Joaquin County and encourages all parents, legal guardians, and the community to get the facts about available services. Presented this 9th day of August 2022.
Would you like to make some comments?
Thank you, everybody, so much for your support. It means a lot to our department. Our employees have a tough job. They enjoy what they do because they get to see the results in the community. Most recently, we had a block party where we had 500 backpacks reserved by the community, and I think we actually had 550 backpacks to hand out. So a really great job for our team back at the office, and just going to be more proud than about our staff and the community.
Thank you. Supervisor Patty.
Thank you again, Chairman. Great job. I know that I've actually heard from some of the staff that are very pleased about your leadership and some of the new directions and opportunities that are going forth through you and with that incredible staff that are very dedicated. Every day there are challenges and you guys are meeting them and focusing on what's best for our children, which is that next generation that we all truly serve. So congratulations to you and the staff. We appreciate you. Thanks.
Supervisor Miller.
Thank you. You and your team do have very difficult jobs. You're thrown into a situation that's almost automatically contentious, and yet you really work hard to make sure that you keep the kids' welfare front and center. And what you do is incredibly important. You keep a lot of single-parent families from falling into extreme poverty. You also support our local economy because the dollars that come into these custodial parents are almost 100% spent here in San Joaquin County. So thank you. I know that it's a job with a high burnout rate, but I do think things like your block party that has been going on for the last few years, I do think that really helps morale and it helps your team see the results of the hard work that they're doing. So thank you for your leadership and thank you to your entire team in Child Support Services.
Supervisor Laputa.
Thank you, Chair. Well, I hear you're doing a wonderful job, and I want to thank you and your staff for helping every single parent out there that needs help. And there's a lot of kids out there that need parenting and support with money and so forth. And I know you and your staff are working hard to do that. And I want to say congratulations to you and your staff. Thank you.
And Vice Chair Rittman.
Thank you, Chair. And thank you and your staff. I mean, it's great that we have Child Support Awareness Proclamation here and to bring awareness to all the great services that your team offer and the county offers. I mean, if you look at the positive impact that your department has had excuse me, on the health and well-being of not just the children, but the family unit as a whole. So kudos to all of you, and thank you for the job that you do, and God bless you all.
Well, I would add that, as I told Joan in regards to her staff, I know that your staff works very hard in regards to child welfare, but I don't think we can imagine the emotion and sometimes the heartbreak that occurs in dealing with some of your clients. And by virtue of that, as has been said earlier, it's hard to keep, staff, as you know. But I would agree with Supervisor Patty in regards to, I think you're doing a great job. I think as the new director, I think your vision is right on target with the rest of the board and certainly the residents of our county. So I want to thank you and especially make sure your staff understands that it's not just us 5 members of the board. It's the entire residents of San Joaquin County that appreciate what you're doing. Although only a small percentage are actually affected, but really we're all affected because how our youth transition as they grow up really makes a difference for the future of everybody. So again, thank you. And with that, I'll provide you with this proclamation. And with this, I'll turn it over to Supervisor Patty.
Chair, if I could have just a minute to read a brief statement. Thank you. I'd like it noted for the record that the certificate about to be presented does not recognize any kind of recognition by the County of San Joaquin or by the full Board of Supervisors. It's been originated and is being presented by Supervisor Patty, and I strongly object. Mr. Sanchez, during business hours and while an employee of Stockton Unified School District being paid by the taxpayers, stalked me in my personal neighborhood while I was on a break in virtual meetings, harassed me verbally, and then posted a video of the harassment. I believe that Mr. Sanchez, 209 times the organization he fronts, and Ms. Alvarez, a frequent contributor and active participant in their political smear campaigns, have lowered the level of civic engagement in our county through their spread of lies and misinformation, and I will not participate in this effort to provide them with any legitimacy. This is an embarrassment to our county, and it will be an even bigger embarrassment when the results of multiple investigations currently underway by legitimate media, state and federal governments are known. Supervisor Patty is once again misusing our recognition process, but this time I am recusing myself from the proceedings, and I'll rejoin this meeting when we return to actual business.
Thank you.
Well, in spite of that scandalous statement and the blatant accusation that she just made, I think that when another human being helps a person that's struggling and in need, it is commendable. In spite of where there might be differences or there might be a political variation, which, by the way, I know that politically we are not aligned, but we also know that we care about this community and we're dedicated to this community. So I also wrote a quick little statement while I was sitting up there, but I firmly believe in and support a discerning and watchful media. And like it or not, that includes the social media platform that we have. It wasn't here 20, 30, 50, 100 years ago, but it's a mechanism now for us to communicate to and through our community. And 209 Times has established themselves as a platform. Sometimes it may be uncomfortable. Sometimes I've even been in the crosshairs, and that's fine, because in our society, we as a democracy, as a republic, we are dependent on a discerning and watchful media. As uncomfortable as that may be, it's a necessary function for our great nation, and I support that. And that also has a responsibility. It has a function in our society, an important function, exemplified when a member in our society reaches out through that very same platform where they were not able to get assistance in other ways. Maybe they had a support network that wasn't available. Maybe they were unavailable to use other mechanisms or reached a dead end when they tried and reached out for help. But yet they had a mechanism to reach out to someone that answered that call. They reached out not to a political movement. They reached out not to a person that makes statements that you might disagree with or that you have a personal animus with. They reached out to a person who happened to be a veteran, and it was a veteran reaching out to a veteran. A call to action through a platform made available to the public. What a phenomenal service. What a great vision. What a great opportunity for us to further engage in our community and to serve our community. And this is an example, and I'm proud to give you a platform, I'm proud to give you a recognition, irrespective of your platform, but I recognize the value of that platform because that may very well have saved another life. And I appreciate that. And I totally commend that. So in spite of any adverse statements that were made and trying to sound like something very bad and nefarious is going on, we want to celebrate when we can help another person. And we can help our community be healthier and better in any capacity. And that's why this recognition is fitting. And that's why more than one supervisor is proud to sign on to these recognitions. So I'm going to read the first one. And this is from the Board of Supervisors, Certificate of Recognition presented to Montezuma Patrick Sanchez in recognition of responding to a request of help by a local Vietnam veteran in Lathrop who had reached out through the social media platform for assistance. Thank you for your consideration, for the contributions, and to the help you gave to this community. So I really appreciate and respect it, and come on down. I also like to recognize and bring us Patricia Alvarez here. She's in Colorado. Okay. Well, I welcome you. Step up, please. Come on down and make a statement.
Yes, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. As a veteran of the Marine Corps myself, I understand full well the challenges that come with not only service, but after service. And this was a particular incident where a Vietnam veteran, a veteran from a different generation, reached out, was really in distress, was afraid that he was going to hurt himself or someone else with weapons, with firearms, and wanted to turn those firearms over, and reached out to myself, my staff, who was able to receive that message. We were able to coordinate that with the work of Patricia Alvarez, who has a background in working in social services, and coordinate that and get advice from law enforcement, including directly from Sheriff Withrow himself. Want to, of course, thank him for his assistance on that, Mr. Frank Gallardo, Marcus, Rajan, who were also assisting that day, as well as the deputies who arrived on the scene and were able to help the gentleman. Were very professional, very accommodating. This was a situation that could have very well turned into a tragedy, and that is not to be minimized by any stretch of the imagination or overshadowed by anybody's political feelings. It's unfortunate that individuals have hard feelings because they lost an election, but the progress of the community moves on. And as somebody who has lost friends in the service, I want to, of course, remember Raul Moncada, who I served with in the Marine Corps. I have known personally and also have relatives who have suffered from their service. So this is a very real issue. I want to thank the County of San Joaquin for continuing to prioritize the needs and concerns of veterans. Mr. Mike Anderson, of course, for giving veterans a priority, and of course you, Mr. Patty, for making this a priority and recognizing the work that myself and my staff did. Thank you.
We appreciate you, and it was one of my constituents from Lathrop. So hold on just a moment. We've got perhaps Supervisor Villapudua.
Thank you, Supervisor Patty. Ojek, congratulations. I want to thank you and 209 Times especially for reaching out and helping a veteran. I know you're a veteran yourself, and thank you personally. And it sounds like it was a team effort, and you guys really went out of your way to help this young man who's in desperate need of help. Sounds like our Sheriff's Department played a big hand in it, and your whole team. So well done in helping veterans, especially with mental health. I'm sure there's a lot more out there. And if they could reach out on your platform, and we can, always try to help someone in need. Great job.
Supervisor Rickman.
Thank you, Supervisor Patty. And just real quick, it's just unfortunate what just transpired here. An attempt to make this personal or political, and what we're talking about today is an act of two individuals who, by their action, possibly saved the life of an individual, and that individual being a veteran. And I want to personally applaud you and Patty for your caring and your engagement with the community, because this individual didn't call a service or a city service or a county service. They reached out to you personally and asked for help. And instead of you two looking the other way and picking up a phone, calling the service, hey, we received this phone call. This is the individual. This is their address. You guys might want to go check it out. You didn't do that. You got involved. You got in your car. You drove out there and talked to the individual and communicated with that individual and got that person help personally. That is to be admired. That is something that we all preach up here about people getting involved in their community, making a difference. And what you guys did is exceptional. And like I said, there's people that go through life and never knowing if they made a difference. You and Ms. Alvarez did. So thank you. And, on behalf of my district, I thank you. So God bless you and God bless Mrs. Alvarez.
Chairman?
Sure, be more than happy to. I would agree with Supervisor Rickman. This is about your actions and not your politics. However, I would have to say, because of the exposure and I guess the visibility of the 209 times, sometimes you can't divorce that. And as you as the founder, I'm sure are acutely aware of that. So I think Supervisor Miller obviously has had negative contacts with the 209 times and some personnel. And so I understand her feelings and her disagreement. I would also say that at times I've been attacked by the 209 times. But as has been stated, I think we look at the action as opposed to maybe the political side. I would also offer that one of the things is, and I look at this as maybe an example of what happens in this county almost on a daily basis. There are individuals out there that are helping veterans, helping homeless, et cetera, that don't get recognized. So I would say to those that we appreciate their efforts also. But again, I fully understand Supervisor Miller's position. She has a right to state her opinion. But on the other side of it, I do appreciate certainly your efforts with this veteran, because you're right, something very bad could have happened. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. As a former serviceman that served in the Marines proudly, and as we know, yourself being in the military, we know that on a daily basis there are veterans that are committing suicide. So I'm proud to stand here with the recognition from this board, from representing my district. You've got District 1, 3, and 5 representing, and of course Supervisor or Chairman Wynn's comments coincide with the support of the actions for somebody that stepped up and helped another person in need in this community. We are proud of that. We are proud of a veteran helping a veteran. We're proud of a citizen of this community helping another citizen of this community. There are many acts, as the chairman said, that go unnoticed, but this is an opportunity for us to celebrate, because we know there was a person in despair. They reached out and they got help. And thanks to you, that help was provided. And thanks to our deputies and everyone else that answered that call, but you sprung into action first. So we thank you, and I'd like to give you this recognition proudly.
Okay, now it's time for public comments on matters within the jurisdiction of the Board of Supervisors that are not listed on the agenda, and minutes, appointments, consent calendar, and closed session items. We request that you fill out a comment card, which I have several here, and we request that that you provide that to the clerk of the board. Time limit of 3 minutes of these comments. There is a device on the podium with a green, yellow, and red light. The yellow light will come on 30 seconds before the end of the 3 minutes. And then obviously the red light means the time has ended. With regard to public comment, the law strictly limits the ability of the board members to discuss matters not on the agenda, so this is not an appropriate time to have a discussion with the board regarding your comments. We ask that you refrain from personal attacks during your comments that you address the comments to the Board of Supervisors, not the audience. Comments from the public may not reflect the viewpoint of the Board of Supervisors. So I have a list of names. Is it Carter Hune? Carla, I'm sorry. I recognize you.
Good morning, everybody. I'm a little weepy listening to the recommendations and everything. Mental health is such an issue, so thank you for those recognitions. I just wanted to bring up, and again, you know why I'm here. We're talking about election integrity, which everybody should be worried about. I understand that we're getting the committee together. I just want to urge that we do not destroy any evidence. And what that is the machines. I know we're getting new ones in September, but I want the machines from the past elections set aside and do not mess with them until the committee has a chance to review them. We need to bring in a third party and look at it. Again, I'm not attacking you or the ROV. There's just some issues within the system that needs to be rectified. And until we do that, the citizens of this county is not going to trust the elections. I have here, and this is from 2007, it talks about the corruption and the hackability of the HART machines. I'd be glad to give a copy of it. It's from Stanford, Rice University, and San Diego. So they got together and did that. So I just want you to realize that's out there. My recommendation is, of course, no machines at all, and to go back to the way we used to vote. So thank you for your time.
Carla, just a point of information, the machines are not going to be replaced in September. They won't be replaced till after the election. So the HART machines.
Okay, so different than what you said. Okay.
I didn't say, I said we budgeted, but again.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, thanks.
Thank you. Joe Farrow?
Hello, everybody. Regarding the most recent election, let me explain the 17902 phenomenon. In ROV report printed on election night at 12:15 a.m. in the morning, we see that for the insurance commissioner race, 17902 votes combined valid and rejected are recognized by the county ROV. 16,418 ballots delivered. That's 109% of all ballots delivered. Member State Board of Equalization race, 17902 votes combined valid and rejected are recognized by the county ROV. 16,418 ballots delivered. That's 109% of all ballots delivered. Full-term U.S. Senator race, 17902 votes combined valid and election integrity